This is Oklahoma's own News 9.
The only thing that he keeps telling me is when he's ready to let this all out, it's going to be nuclear.
The Tiger King, Joe Exotic, is pouncing on the U.S. Attorney's Office from behind bars.
Armed with a new attorney and former foe turned friend, and new court filings now allege government misconduct. Here's Sylvia Corkill with Joe's latest allegations.
That's what I want the public to know, is the truth behind all of this. I've been set up to shut up.
For the past 3 years, the once magician, Tiger Park owner, and former presidential candidate has sat behind bars. His signature blonde locks now gray. Attorney John Phillips.
Here's this guy that was bigger than life in the TV show that I watched. And he just was, a trapped animal.
This call is from a federal prison.
The magic long gone.
I've lost my parents during this. I've lost my zoo. My marriage is gone. My health. They even sold my clothes.
He still had the mullet. He was like the guy on the TV show, but older. And time has not been, his ally.
But despite a 22-year sentence, convicted of attempting to hire 2 people to kill Carol Baskin, along with an onslaught of animal charges, now armed with a new attorney.
John Phillips here in Dallas, here to visit Joe Exotic.
A publicist.
Hey there, good morning, how are you?
Morning. I gotta hurry because they just called for lunch.
And with the unlikely backing of his once business partners.
We're here for Team Joe now. Wow, exciting. So stay tuned.
Joe is hopeful.
If anything should happen, President Biden should just sign my pardon and let me go the hell home.
A once soured relationship with Jeff and Lauren Lowe now surprisingly mended. But why? According to Joe.
1, make him a hero and put him back in the press. And 2, he thinks that if he exposes the corruption of what they did, they won't have the honesty enough to try him for anything.
Self-serving or not, the Lowe's once witnesses for the federal government
I actually landed in Jacksonville, Florida to meet with John Phillips. We are signing affidavits on how how Amanda Green, Matt Bryant had manipulated us, lied to us in the system to get Joe into jail.
Amanda Green, since turned judge, prosecuted the case against Joe. It was investigated by Special Agent Matt Bryant with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. In an affidavit dated August 27, 2021, signed by Jeff Lowe, he supports the overturn of Joe's 2019 conviction.
Secret weapon. Look out.
Under sworn testimony, Lowe says Matthew Bryant continuously directed me to try different ways of getting the information he needed from Joseph Maldonado Passage to support the elements of murder for hire. And the conversation between myself and Alan Glover regarding the murder for hire by Carol Baskin includes text messages that were created by me and staged.
It proves, first of all, that the text messages for the murder for hire was set up, and they admit that.
Lowe goes on to say Bryant told him the animal charges were stacked on the murder for hire charges in order to get some jury's heartstrings bleeding on shooting those cats. He also said Bryant only wanted the heads of the buried tigers, saying killing majestic tigers would demonize him to most jurors.
Agent Bryant and Amanda Green obstructed justice by suppressing evidence and covering up evidence that would have told the truth.
In addition to his testimony, Phillips says Lowe also handed over a mountain of digital evidence.
We literally have recordings now of Agent Bryant telling Jeff Lowe and James Garretson exactly what they needed on a recording, including Jeff saying, look, how about if I fake these text messages and show them to Joe and see how he responds? Well, that's just fraud.
Joe says when it's all said and done, his name will be cleared.
Whenever John Phillips feels the time is right, it's going to shock the world. It is going to put the biggest black cloud over our Department of Justice.
I know the public will look at Joe differently, will look at the government differently, And I firmly believe, my belief is Joe will be free.
I did reach out to a spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office. I was told they could not comment on an active case. Sylvia Corkill, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.